What's up, guys? Brian Grant here of ContestChampion.com, here to bring you some more Alliance War coverage. This time my Alliance 4 Loki is going up against GenX. And I gotta tell you guys, this war made me extremely nervous. You see, I knew ahead of time that I was going to be taking a slightly different path, a more difficult path. If you've seen my other Alliance War videos, then the path will look a little bit familiar to you. But I basically swapped out some of my easier nodes for a couple of more difficult ones. I know. Lucky me, right? And I didn't know who to bring in. I knew I was going to have to take a Thorns node, and I didn't have any answer for Thorns, so I wanted to bring in both Visions, as I'm almost positive it's going to be a mutant champion. On top of that, I wanted to bring in Quake, so that I had some kind of answer for a magic if I came across one. But I also wanted to bring an Iceman. So I was torn, and I decided to go with Double Vision and Iceman. And you can see a couple of my nodes, my normal path, have already been carved out for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue down that road. And the first node that I come across is, of course, the unblockable L2. Now for the unblockable L2, I either go with Iceman or OG Vision. And in the case of who I'm about to fight, either would have worked, honestly. But I choose OG Vision, and I am not disappointed in that decision one bit. And you'll see exactly why in just a moment when you see who I go up against. It's actually going to be another OG Vision. This is the first time I've ever seen this, but check that out, man. He gains his L3 instantly. And luckily, I choose OG Vision, which is able to take down his power right away, immediately remove that threat. I kind of panic and fire off another one, even though I didn't need to do that. I could have saved that. I just really didn't want him to synthesize into another special. But honestly, I could have just easily baited out the special 2 instead of firing off my power burn, causing some recoil damage. After that first, burn, the fight's pretty much under control. And you guys might be thinking, oh yeah, look at this. If you didn't have recoil, you wouldn't be taking so much damage. But the truth is, I only took 10% damage from recoil this fight. The rest of it's from the actual node itself, and taking a few blocked shots here. And I gained 60% attack for losing 10% of my maximum HP. And if you compare that to other masteries, like Glass Cannon, for example, if you max that out, you're only getting 7.2% attack, and you're losing 7.2% of your health. So, recoil, it sucks, man. Of course, I don't want recoil. All I'm saying is it's not that bad to gain the extra attack from the suicide masteries, depending on the champions you're bringing, of course. Now, this next node, I cannot stun whoever's on this next node, and I'm pretty scared. I don't know who's going to be here. I'm thinking it's going to be Juggernaut or Magic, and I don't really have that good of an answer for either of them. So I didn't know what to do. And I figured the best bet would just to be going with Iceman. Maybe it's a Juggernaut, and if he hits me with his L3, it'll be alright. I can survive it with the armor. And then I see Magic in his profile, and I literally poop my pants. Okay, maybe not literally, but I figuratively poop my pants, alright? And I don't know what to do here. I'm panicking even more. I'm just like, oh man, forget it. Let me just go in with Iceman. Let's just see what happens. Turns out it's Nightcrawler. And I am so happy that I chose Iceman, because with the L1 buff on him, including the debuff that I put, at the start of the fight on Nightcrawler, he can't evade. Now that's like the little starry buff or debuff on Nightcrawler. Now it fades away right here before I get to shoot off another L1. So unfortunately, I'm stuck in a situation where if I fire off my L1, he might evade it. So I'm trying to look for openings. I'm trying to see when I can pop my L1. But it's just so hard, man. I definitely don't want to do it while he has the extra evasion buff up. And now I'm thinking, oh, you know what? Maybe I could just switch his stances. Normally I don't try to switch Nightcrawler stance, and I just play the very slow parry game, parry stun him, and then get the free shots in. I try to switch him. He was so close to getting switched. Luckily, the heavy attack damage I just took, I only took 5% because of my my ice armor. But still, man, I'm starting to panic here. Don't know what to do. I'm backed up against the wall. But luckily, I hit him with the L3. Completely forgot about it as I was fighting. But I'm so glad I had this L3 ready to go, as it's going to apply that same debuff to him so that now he cannot evade again. and I'm able to get in some really good damage here. I'm just trying to bait out specials, bait out heavy attacks, trying to get that damage in. Alright, the anti-evasion debuff on him is gone again. So now I'm crapping my pants a little bit more, trying to figure out when do I get this opening? When do I actually go for it? And I'm thinking, alright, I have to switch a stance. I just have to. There's no other way. I take too much damage, I get pressed up against the wall, and then I'm going to die to his heavies, especially, this is before they fixed the evade bug, but I get him to switch. He's in swashbuckling. So now it's not too bad. I get some shots in. I fire off the L1 just in case he switches back somehow. This way I can actually still evade him. And I've got a lot of debuffs on him that are all going to expire and kind of finish things off for me. But I get the last shots in anyway before those even expire. And I am so happy that I did not take a loss here going up against that Nightcrawler with Iceman. Oh, thank you, Iceman. I don't think I would have been able to do that as well with either of those visions, so I'm glad I made the right decision in that case. Now we go up against Thorns node, and I'm kind of pissed at myself here. You're going to see why in just a moment. I'm pretty sure this is Cyclops. You know, it's almost always Cyclops on this node with the Thorns and unblockable L1. But here's why I'm pissed. I forgot to boost. Literally 5 minutes before I go in here, someone in my alliance asked me when I'm going to jump in war. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm just waiting for, you know, all of my nodes to be available. This way I can boost up and take them all down in one shot. And I forgot to boost for the first 2 nodes. Anyway, it happens to be Cyclops, like I expected. It's 5-star Cyclops, and I knew this was what it's going to be. I just wanted to have some kind of class advantage, just so that I can do a little bit more damage. He'll have a little bit less attack. Hopefully, I can do enough damage to him that if I can't take him down in this go, I can take him down without losing another character. If I didn't get hit by that L1 there, if I didn't mess up and get clipped by the third little hit of that beam, then I could have finished this out, because look how close this ends up being. Get him all the way down, and recoil is actually going to take me out, but man, he almost dropped himself. I almost finished him off and didn't die from that last recoil hit. Now again, about recoil. Had I not had the suicide masteries, I would have died long before I got him that low. I'm never saying that suicide masteries are the answer for Alliance War. I'm always going to tell you guys that I wish I didn't have to have the suicide masteries on for Alliance War. It's one of those areas where you don't want them on, but at the same time, it's not as bad as people think. So for anyone who asks me how do I play Alliance War with suicide masteries on, I mean that's the answers I can tell you guys. Okay, but anyway, Thorns goes down, and I'm pretty happy about that. There's only one node left in my path that I have to take, and this one I'm also quite scared about. This is the power gain node, of course, and this is where I normally like to throw in Quake, because I see that 5-star rank 4 magic again. And I'm almost positive that this magic is on this node, man. I'm just really hoping it's not, but I'm almost positive it is. But what other choice do I have? I have to go in Vision here. And it happens to be Hyperion, and I'm so excited at this point. And I don't know if I could take him down in one go. I mess up against Hyperions every once in a while. You guys have definitely seen it, right? Where I make mistakes against this guy. But I remember this time just to, be aggressive with my power burn, because I do have that, that debuff on me that's going to drain all of my power. So I might as well get my power burns off before that happens. Try to bait out these specials as early as possible. The synthesis really helps out against this particular node, as I gained all the power back after it drained mine. I'm going to hit him with the L2. Hyperion's at 0 power. At this point I'm feeling pretty confident that I'm able to close this out with just OG Vision here. And of course I just need him to bait like one more special, get that bait, and I get the synthesis, get that extra power, burn him. I just need to tap him. I'm scared to get hit by that heavy though. And there we go. Tap him and he's down. Hyperion is down. My path is clear. Like I said guys, I was very nervous about taking this path. I thought for sure that I was going to come across a magic and just be screwed and have to spend a bunch of units on potions and revives and stuff like that. But I made it through. And there is a magic in the middle, Miniboss here, and I'm just going to see what I can do to magic. Just gonna show you guys what it would have been like had I come across a magic earlier. So Magic is at 68,000 life right now. Let's keep that in mind. 68,000. Let's see, you know, what I can bring her down to. And OG Vision, better than Age of Ultron Vision. Get that power burn off right away. And maybe I could play this slower and do a bit better. Maybe I should wait for like the next synthesis before I actually go in. I'm kind of keeping that in my mind. I'm actually trying to do that. I'm trying to dash backwards without causing dexterity, the dexterity buff, because I don't want her to trigger that Mystic Dispersion, because of course you know she's got that Mystic Dispersion, guys. And I try to power drain, and actually pushes her right above her L1 though, and there's that limbo, and rip Vision. Gotta love Magic, guys. Gotta love Magic. She wouldn't have gained that bar of power had I not triggered the dexterity buff that one time, actually. So I almost could have kept that going. But let's see what I got her down to. She was at 68. I got her down to 47. Oh, pathetic, man. Pathetic. So 20,000 damage. That's all I could do. But luckily, my alliance was able to push through this Magic, and we actually did come out on top in this war. But it was a good war against GenX. I definitely heard a lot of complaints from my alliance as they lost their characters to your guys' very strong magics and Mystic Dispersion and all that. So yeah, you guys have some very powerful defenders, and maybe we'll see you guys in a future war as well. Maybe maybe I won't have to take that same path. I don't know. We'll see. But in any case, guys, that's gonna do it for this war, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.